Hey peeps, welcome back. We're talking Love After Lockup, Season 5, Episode 37.
Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks.
So this episode starts out with Shantae and True. Well, True has decided that he's going to drive down to see Shantae. He says that he's always wanted to have twins, and now he's driving 5 hours to see Shantae because he wants his girl back. He's really sorry for putting her through this heartache and pain, and he really regrets it. He regrets the fact that he walked out on this woman. Since he went to prison and he was doing culinary arts, him and her were supposed to have a cook-off. They never got to have it. So he's going to swing by the grocery store to pick up the fixings for making omelets because they're going to have this cook-off. I said, boy, oh boy, at the grocery store, the man had no idea how to pick out eggs. He asked this nice lady to help him pick out some nice eggs. He said he wanted to make a little steak omelets. Then he gets to the U-Scan, has absolutely no idea how to use the U-Scan, and I realize he has been in jail for a very long time. And I know that we did have U-Scan when he went in, but they weren't as popular everywhere. So maybe they didn't have them in his town. So that was at least a nice growing experience. Oh, the producers asked him where he was getting his money, and he said that he gets his money by going to the casino. I think the smarter idea would be to just get a job. You're going to need insurance, especially with twins coming. So he shows up at Shantae's house with some roadside roses and all of his omelet fixings. She tried to act as if she wasn't excited about him coming there or that she was surprised that he was coming, but no, ma'am, you were right at the door and the film crew was there. So please, I don't want to hear it. She shows him through her new house into the kitchen. She says she doesn't want to make eggs with him. If he wants to make the eggs, he can go ahead and do it himself. And, he broke her heart. She's acting as if she's completely giddy that he's there, in my opinion. In my opinion, she is super excited that he's there. And I don't understand it. This man takes no real accountability for what happened, and she's not taking any accountability either. And I'm thinking to myself, you are a grandmother who is pregnant with twins, who is entertaining this man who has absolutely nothing. I don't get it. Okay, you have to take accountability for the place that you're in now. The fact that you moved from one house, lost another house, lost your job, moved into a new place, looking for a new job, and pregnant with twins. This is just all bad. So he asked her about getting back together, saying he wanted to be a family. And in my opinion, you're just a guy who's homeless. You need somewhere to be, somewhere to stay because your mama put you out. No, ma'am, would not allow it. She's in the kitchen talking to him. She's doing the whole rubbing her hair down. You know how people do when they have long hair. They're always touching it and playing with it. Anyway, she's in there doing that and smiling and carrying on. I said, girl, you are childish. Both of y'all are childish as hell. I just can't stand it. Then she's giving him the old, well, I don't know if we're going to be back together. And I just don't know if I can trust you. And oh, by the way, were you talking to somebody else? Okay, why do you care if he was talking to somebody else? So when he tells her that he was talking to someone else, like a child, she storms off. She's in the living room. I'm thinking we have got to be in the damn Twilight Zone. She's got the roses and she's picking off the petals. Does he love me? Does he love me not? I said, what the shit? Isn't that something that we did in middle school? What? Anyway, she said that if those eggs was what he had to give, stop giving. Okay, she wasn't interested or impressed by those eggs at all. And this is the guy that she was talking about spending her savings on and opening a business with him. I think this is a child stuck in a grown man's body who is homeless, who showed up on your doorstep, and now he is pretending like he cares about you, that he loves you, and he wants to be with you. Absolutely not. It really bothers me that she allows her low self-esteem to take her down this road. The best thing for Shantae to do is to get into therapy and quickly. This is not a good look for you, your children, or your grandchildren. You are allowing this man to treat you like an option instead of a priority. You are treating yourself like an option instead of a priority. Sometimes you have to wake up and say, I deserve better. I need better. I can do better. I don't think that this relationship is going to work at all. And I think that she's going to be putting herself through a whole lot of heartache and pain. I wish you the best, girl, but I think that you should have just told him, please go back to your family, check in with your parole officer, find yourself a job, and get you some health insurance. But, I'll be in touch, when the babies get here. Bye. Zyria and Troy. I think I might have her name right now because I think I heard Karen and Troy refer to her as Zyria. I don't know. And actually, I don't even give a damn. I'm getting sick of this. Anyway, Karen is still acting a fool, but Karen is also dropping some gems, occasionally. I just have to keep reminding myself every time that Zaria gets upset about Karen or any of Karen's comments that you are the one who invited her. You are the one who wanted her to be a part of your lives. So here she is. I'm just saying, here's all of her. Anyway, when the episode starts out, Troy is up and awake. He is excited. Today is the day he's going to get to see his daughter. He hasn't seen his daughter since she was 7 months old. Now she is 7 years old, and he is excited to go see his baby. He says, "How you feeling?" to his mom. And she says, "I wish you would stop asking me how I'm feeling." I said, "Oh my God. What? What?" Listen, Karen, pull yourself together. Take another gummy. Pull yourself together, lady. This is the son that you have not been in his life for a long time for. The man wakes up and wants to know how his mom is doing. All you had to say was, "I'm feeling good, son. Don't worry about me. How you doing?" Something. Jesus, Karen. Then we see Zariah. She's in the bathroom working on that whack ass ponytail. Gosh, I wish she would give up that ponytail. Just set it free. And she's in there working on her ponytail and putting on gobs and gobs and gobs of makeup. I want you to stop doing that. What I would like for you to do is to head on down to your local dermatologist. Let them take care of this situation. I think one of the reasons that you have the situation is because you're putting on gobs and gobs of makeup. And while you're putting on all that makeup, are you washing those brushes? Are you cleaning your supplies that you use to apply your makeup? That stuff is supposed to be cleaned. And makeup really does have expiration dates. Like, get rid of some of it. I mean, shit. It seemed like it was taking hours and hours and hours to get that makeup on. It was bothering me. Okay, so anyway, also, her sports bra was bothering me too because it didn't seem to fit quite right. But listen, I'm going to move on. Zariah, I'm going to move on. I want you to go to the dermatologist, though. You are a beautiful girl. Go to the dermatologist to get your skin looked at. You don't deserve this. And please stop wearing them ponytails. Okay, anyway. So, while Troy and Troy's mama is excited to go to Buffalo to meet his daughter, no, Zariah is not. She is not. She is upset. She is nervous. She is jealous. She is childish. She is petty as hell. This girl is acting like a fool. She was all upset that Troy was on the phone talking to Yolanda or Yola. Yana. That's it. Ah, shit. Yana. She was upset that Troy was talking to Yana. Yana is his daughter's mother. What did you expect? She's 7, okay? Until she's old enough to have her own phone and be able to call her daddy and communicate with him, he's going to need to talk to Yana. And even after that, sometimes he's going to have to talk to Yana. I mean, that is what parenting is about, especially co-parenting. You have to have those conversations. She doesn't want him to talk to Yana at all. And I said, wait a minute, you are not the same woman who was married to your son's father, visited him in prison, fell in love with Troy, divorced old dude, married Troy, and had Troy sign your son's birth certificate. So now he's your son's legal father. You want him to be a full-fledged father to your son, but he can't have shit to do with his daughter and his daughter's mama? You are a childish woman, and I can't stand it. No, ma'am. This behavior was very rude, very passive-aggressive, very just nasty. Troy was trying to be as calm and relaxed as he possibly could. That man is trying to have a level head. He is trying to stay out of jail. All he wants to do is to visit his daughter. He doesn't want to go through this bullshit with you or anything with his mother. And he has said that multiple times. She's going to scream out the bathroom door telling him that he can pack his stuff or whatever he needs and get the hell out. I said, what? Now his mom jumps in and she tells him, you can't put him out. This is his place too. And she says his name ain't on the lease. I think that Karen shouldn't have said that, because Karen, he's only been there for 3 or 4 days. And she's right, his name is not on the lease. However, I thought it was really disgusting when she said that she can go find somebody else, somebody who can pay some things around there. And I'm paraphrasing, but something like that she said. I said, girl, your jealousy in your mouth is out of control. And I wish that Troy would have packed up his shit for sure and just left. You are going to be that man's downfall. I do not like this jealous, childish woman. And I thought to myself, you're a mom. But allegedly, according to her friend who has been out on the blogs, her son doesn't live with her. Her son is being raised by her mother. So maybe you really aren't a mom and you don't know that moms don't behave like this when it comes to children. You are being ridiculous. Running that man in the dirt about him not being able to financially contribute when he's only been out of jail for 3 days is pretty disgusting in my book. Karen says, you guys are going to have to buy me some gummies because I can't keep losing my high off of the two of you. Karen, I need you to back down from the gummies. So he tries to calm everything down between Zariah and his mom, and she tells him to F off, get the F out of her face. Then she starts bringing up divorce. Karen jumps in and she says, what is going on? What's the problem? Why are you acting like this? She said, Yana is not our family, but his daughter is our family, and we're trying to get our family back together. Talking about she's tired of having to compromise her feelings and dealing with his baby's mom. And she's tired of dealing with Karen. I said, but you invited her. You invited her. You really did. Troy gets upset and he walks away. He leaves his phone there in the house, walks 6 miles away. In my mind, this is this man saying, hell no, I ain't going to jail today. She is not about to make me lose it. I don't know. Zariah, she was annoying for me. She really was. This man was happy. He has every right to go see his daughter. Her awful attitude and her bad communication is terrible. I think that that man should be at peace. He should be able to go see his daughter. I think that him and his mom should have just packed their things, got on the train, and went ahead to Buffalo to see his daughter and left Zariah sit there and whine all by her damn self. And I think that she should also be ashamed of herself. You are a Christian girl. Your parents are pastors. They run their own church, and this is the behavior you exhibit? That's not love. You see Karen on the phone talking to Yana, and Yana tells Karen that Zariah had some man up in her apartment and she was cheating on Troy. Zariah's in the bedroom. She hears the conversation. Karen, when the episode goes off, she's knocking at the door. She want to ask Zariah, who is this dude? Or, she want to know if she's cheating on her son. I have no idea if any of that is true or not. But this is just a whole lot of drama. They are losing it over there. The man has only been out of jail 3 or 4 days. This is crazy as hell. But I tell you what, I don't like women who try to keep a child away from their biological father. That is a no-go for me. That child is half of that man, and that man has a responsibility to that child and has the right to love that child. It is not okay, especially when you're trying to get him to be a full-fledged father to your child. Get the fuck on with that. Every child has the right to be with both of their parents. If both of their parents can't work it out and they separate, they have the right to still spend time with each parent as long as, the parent is not doing anything harmful to the child. And, step parents sometimes can be shady as hell. I do realize that. And I think that maybe he may not want his child around Zariah. Zariah doesn't know how to act. Oh, she pissed me off. Anyway, get down in the comments and let me know what you think about Zariah's behavior. I thought that was terrible. And I was glad that Troy did walk away, but I think he should have just, called an Uber and took himself to the train so he could go see his daughter. You don't need to bring Zariah anyway. She probably would have caused a whole big fight out there in front of the little girl. Hope and Arthur. Okay, so Hope and Arthur is different for me. I'm going to admit, I cried. Like throughout Arthur's confessional, everything that was going on, it really made me sad. Um, Hope, in my opinion, is really not good for Arthur. We know that currently he's in jail. He was trying to leave Hope. Hope allegedly shoots herself, then calls the police to have Arthur arrested, stating that he shot her. Allegedly, the situation was if she couldn't have him, nobody could, and she was going to take him and then take herself, if you know what I mean, and accidentally shot herself. After he was arrested, she changed her story, but the police and everyone is not buying it. I did hear Arthur in an interview. He says that he is in a new relationship, that did happen. He was trying to leave Hope. Um, he says that he still has love for her and he hopes that people don't bash her too much. But yes, he is in this bad situation. And when he gets out, he hopes to be with whoever this person is he's talking to now. He says at one point, the Love After Lockup people were filming with him and Hope. And I guess she hit him over the head with something. And the Love After Lockup people were like, what the hell is going on here? And they, stopped filming. So, something is quite wrong with Hope, in my opinion. But at the beginning of the episode with him, he apologized to her for being out late and he said that he should have kept her in the loop. He was just with his mom. And she says, I don't care if you were with Jesus. Her mental state is all off. Really? I think that this woman is unstable and she really needs some therapy and she needs some anger management. She tells him that she's going to take him to a fabric store. And when you get to the fabric store, you find out that she hasn't told her family or her sisters about her being in a relationship with him or the fact that he's living with her. But he was excited to be in the fabric store because he said that when he was in jail, he would make t-shirts and he would make turtlenecks. And he said that sometimes he would make them for other inmates and he would give it to them for free because everyone deserves to feel good about themselves and feel special. And I said, you know what? Arthur is a nice guy. So when she's on the phone with her sister, she's doing everything she can to keep her sister from hearing Arthur or seeing Arthur. And he wants to know, why do you keep cutting me off? He doesn't appreciate that she's cutting him off. She doesn't want her sister to hear him talking. And he doesn't love it. He tells her that it looks like you're hiding me from your family. And he says that he doesn't understand why she doesn't want them to know anything about him. And he doesn't like being shushed because he's not a child. He doesn't understand what's happening. And I would ask too, why am I a secret? What the hell is going on? Arthur then goes into the closet looking for some of his sketches and he finds a picture with her and somebody else. And he asked her about it, but he's not able to really work through his emotions and, verbalize it to her. And he says that in his confessionals that, in prison, you aren't allowed to really just be yourself. You have to be cold, you have to be hard. Otherwise, if they see that you're being soft at all, they'll take advantage of you. And he was saying that it's really hard with him on the outside because now he needs to learn how to let his guard down and he becomes overwhelmed with emotion. Like totally overwhelmed. He is frozen. He is solid. He walks away. He's got tears in his eyes. He's crying. He is just really not able to communicate with words, but his whole body is telling you that something is just not okay. He's having an anxiety attack. He's breathing heavy. He's going through some sort of PTSD. He is struggling. I think it was some sort of panic attack or something. Production walks him outside. They're trying to get him some air, calm him down and everything. Hope comes out and she's trying to hug him and touch him and say something. Hold me. Do you want to hug me or something? I just looked at the screen and I said, you know what? This is not about you. This is not about you. This man is clearly going through something right now that is very, very hard for him to deal with. Allow this man the air to breathe. Back up off of him and just let the man relax. He is definitely having some sort of mental episode right now. And I really didn't love it that Love After Lockup filmed it. I'm like, put the cameras down. You don't have to film this right now. I think that this time that we've seen with Arthur was probably the most real thing that we have ever seen on Love After Lockup. Hope was just making it about her. She was being extremely annoying. And I hate to say it because I have zero fashion sense, but nothing that woman puts on fits. Nothing that she wears looks appropriate. And, this is not about her, though. This is about Arthur. Her behavior was way over the top for me. She was trying to force this hug, and then when he wasn't ready for it, then when he tried to reach for her, she pushed him away. I said, "Girl, what are you doing right now?" I think it's going to be a while for him to feel okay, and I wish that he would just go home. Just go home and be with his mom and get some therapy. The production people were smart enough to get his mom on the phone, but I was upset because that should have been a call that he could have spoke to his mom off camera, off to the side by himself. Hope wants to hold the phone up, put it on speaker. I don't know why she is in such competition with this man's mom, but she is quite insufferable. I'm really sick of her, and I think that she's delusional as hell. Arthur needs to be with his family and a therapist. What I did appreciate is finally WeTV is taking some sort of responsibility, and they said that production has stopped filming with Arthur and Hope and offered him some mental health services. I was very thankful to see that. I wish the very best for Arthur. I am so sorry for everything he's going through. I hope that he gets some help, and I also hope that Hope gets some help as well. Bianca and Daniel. So Bianca arrives at her fully furnished apartment in Scottsdale. Daniel is supposed to be out in a month. She says she's there. She's lonely. She misses her family. She misses her friends. She's homesick and it's hot as hell. Then they fast forward, and the next day, Daniel is supposed to be getting out. She's so excited. She says that she wished that she could be there to pick him up by herself, but his whole family is coming, and she doesn't, she's not here for it. However, she's going to be meeting up with his family that same day to go meet up with them, get to know them, say hello before the next day when they go pick him up. She gets to this restaurant bar, I guess it is. First thing she does is order herself a vodka cranberry. I said, they have already talked to you multiple times about this drinking. Multiple times they've talked to you about this. When Daniel's parents get there, the first thing Daniel's father says to her is, "I'm sorry for the mental health joke that I made on the phone. It's just my sense of humor. He didn't really mean it." And she says, "Oh, okay." And then the mom tells her that the father is 5 months sober. She lost a son from fentanyl 2 years earlier. That Daniel is not only an alcoholic, he's a drug addict. And she's hoping that Bianca will not drink in front of him. And Bianca just says that she understands addiction and she's not going to stop drinking in front of him. No, you don't understand addiction, or you would stop drinking in front of him. It really surprises me that someone who was in a serious car accident, who almost died by a drunk driver, still drinks as much as she does, still talks as much shit, and seeks out an alcoholic drug addict in prison. Bianca needs help. Bianca talks about drinking all the time. She wants to drink a bottle of wine. When I get home, I want to drink wine. I want to do this. As soon as she gets to the bar, she orders a vodka cranberry. I think that she might have an issue with alcohol as well. She has no concept of what addiction is. She is too young, she's too immature, and she's extremely selfish. I do have to admit that Daniel needs to be responsible for himself. Absolutely. As an addict, he's not going to be able to rely on all the people around him to not drink or to not do drugs unless he is, in a group of sober friends, or, he has to keep himself totally focused and away from, his old, you know, addict friends, things like that. However, but if you are in a relationship with someone and you love them and you support them and you want to keep them healthy and alive and off the stuff, you have to help them with their journey. And she doesn't seem to be the person that's going to try to help him through this journey at all. His parents have already lost one child. They are begging you to help them not lose a second child. And she doesn't seem to give a shit. I think that she's going to pull this dude down. This is going to be a disaster. Felt terrible for his for Daniel's parents, especially the mom. She has suffered so much with the loss of her son. And Bianca saw that woman pouring out tears. We just saw you last episode crying for your baby that you lost. This lady is crying sad tears too. You don't want to be a part of the problem. And I'm not saying that Bianca has to quit drinking totally. Just don't do it around him. Don't come home crashed out drunk. Don't talk about drinking. Don't talk about alcohol. When you and him go out to have a nice dinner, order a mocktail or order water, soda, anything. Just don't sit around drinking around him. There was somebody really important in my life who was an alcoholic. And I mean, DUI after DUI after DUI. And they went to rehab. They were doing great. And their spouse would send them to the liquor store to get drinks for her and her friends. And I thought, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, this person is an alcoholic. This person has been in wreck after wreck after wreck. This person has been in rehab for 90 days, has been sober for 6 months, and you're sending this person to the liquor store for you? What? This is the type of person I think Bianca is. Don't be that person. I'm sick of this girl already. Moving on. Julian and Christine. Honey, listen, I'm tired of Christine. Christine makes me absolutely sick. The episode starts off, they go to her PO office. Her PO is not there, so she gets her phone number and her cell phone number and checks in with the receptionist. Then we remember the last episode, Julian had asked Christine about getting a job, and she says, do we have money problems? Well, hell yeah, we have money problems. We've got money problems. We find out that Julian is paying for a lawyer for her in Ohio to try to help her get some sort of joint custody or visits with her twins in Ohio that she rarely speaks about. Because all we see her complaining and crying about is her son in West Virginia. It's as if she doesn't even have them twins in Ohio. Then she makes some kind of shitty, sarcastic comment that she needs a lawyer for West Virginia, and she thought that all of that would be taken care of, like Julian isn't paying for it. And we find out that Julian's already paying for the lawyer in Ohio, and now you want him to pay for the lawyer in West Virginia. This dude lives in Maryland, and he has kids of his own and a household of his own that he has to take care of. That's why the two of you were busted allegedly stealing at the Walmart. There is no money. You need a damn job. She's acting all high and mighty and entitled. She's entitled to what? To get the fuck out of his house? That's what you're entitled to, and you're only allowed to walk around freely a couple days a week any damn way. How the hell do you think that you're going to get your kids back when you don't even have a damn job? When you go to see the judge, they want to first of all know that you are clean and sober, and I doubt it. Watching you and looking at you, I don't think that you're sober, but that's just my damn opinion. They want to know that you're clean and sober. They want to know that you have somewhere stable to live. And it's going to be hard for you to say that you're stable and living at Julian's when Julian is hiding you in the fucking attic. Then on top of that, they want to know that you have an income, that you have a job, that you're being responsible. You can't live off of Julian. You need a damn job. And as a matter of fact, you also need your own damn place because you can only be free a few days a week. The rest of the time, you're hiding in the attic. Now, this man says that he doesn't really appreciate that she's kind of being, sarcastic and rude to him because he has already paid the $5,000 for the retainer for the lawyer, and he's also paying for everything else. And then she says that she's upset with him because she's not trying to really be sarcastic, but she doesn't need him to rub it in her face. And he says to her that he's living on the edge of financial ruin trying to take care of everything. You've got to remember, you are the one that decided that you want to live your life high. You are the one who decided you want to run these streets and rob all these damn banks. This is your fault. This is your situation. Why the hell should he have to pay for it? These are your issues, your problems, your children. Get the hell out of here. I don't know why he doesn't realize that this girl is using the hell out of him. And she's talking about she doesn't think it's fair because when he was with his first wife, They lived in a really nice house in a really nice neighborhood, and they took European vacations, and his children go to private school. They went to all these expensive locations. They lived this lavish lifestyle, and now you expect that you should too? Did you ever think that his wife had a job too and she contributed to this luxury lifestyle they were living? Get the fuck out of here.
Shut the fuck up. Shut all the way the fuck up until you reach the top of Shut Fuck Mountain, where there are no more fuck ups to shut.
And the fact that you went all these years without seeing your children in Ohio or your children in West Virginia, I think that you can go without them for a few months while you try to clean up your life. There's no need for you to bring all of whatever this shit is that you're trying to bring into them children's lives. It's time for you to grow all the way to fuck up. You need to check yourself into a rehab. Then find yourself a damn job. Get yourself an apartment and deal with your own shit. Deal with the trouble that you caused for everybody else. You're delusional as hell. You are taking zero accountability for your shit that you've done, and you want to live off the back of this man. He's got children of his own that he needs to take care of. He is not responsible for paying for your lawyers and fighting your custody battles. The audacity of your raggedy ass. I cannot stand the fact that you are on my damn TV screen acting like you are the victim. You are not the victim. The victim in all this are your children and now Julian's children because he is spending his money on you and he shouldn't be. Damn it, I'm sick of this shit. All that whining and carrying on and acting all high and mighty and being sarcastic and rude as shit. Take your ass to the shelter. Sick of this shit. Anyway, let me move on. This woman done got my damn blood pressure up. I'm sick of this shit. Julian, stop being dumb. You're being used. You need to put her out. Put her out of the attic. Sick of this shit. Okay, moving on. Letitia and Keith. Honey, listen. Letitia goes to a real lawyer. And I think it's funny as hell that she says that this is her normal lawyer. So if you knew him already, I don't know why you went to deal with that prison paralegal dude. She goes to see this lawyer, and we find out that the public defender withdrew from the case because he doesn't believe that Keith can get out early. And the lawyer says the same thing. He says, he's not going to get out early. He needs to go ahead and relax for the next 8 months until he gets out on his regular release date. And by the way, who are you working with? Are you working with this paralegal? He said, is he a prisoner? Someone from jail? And she says, yes. And he said, well, you pretty much just got bamboozled. He says that this guy got out of jail. Now he's writing briefs and mailing stuff to people and collecting your money and, just using you. You're a fool. He's taking your pain and profiting from it. Your husband is not getting out of jail. So then we see her call Keith and she tells him that he's not going to get out of jail. That guy was using them. She was devastated. And her hair weave was devastated too. Her life, her situation, her weave is just barely hanging on. Just barely making it. Um, you know, I truly do believe that she knew good and damn well that her husband wasn't getting out of jail, but that they are going through so much shit. Keith is in jail. She's got all these charges. That Boss Lady Tax business is supposed to be allegedly a scam, and she's got charges regarding that as well. I think that this was all just a big money grab that they told the show that they think he's going to get out of jail, and she's back on here. And I would like to say, WeTV, don't ever bring her and Keith back. We don't need to see them ever again. We see Keith's aunt say something about a pink slip that was on the door. Then she starts talking about speaking to some people and finding out that the landlords of the house that they live in have not been paying the mortgage for the last year and a half. And now Letitia and her kids have 2 months to get the hell out. Listen, I don't buy it. In my opinion, Letitia hasn't paid her rent and they're getting put out. And they put a little spin on the situation. I'm sorry. I think that Letitia, her story, her life, her situation on the show is a complete facade. I think that she is a con artist. This is just my opinion and all alleged, but I think that she is a con artist and she has completely failed at fooling anyone. She is going through hell. Her anxiety is through hell, and it all is showing on her hair. And I think that, if it is true that they hired this former inmate, then they're both idiots. Anyway, WeTV, stop bringing them on here. All right now, peeps, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.